Yo, what's good with y'all? Today's video, I got how to make still a Brainrot. This is part 13 to the series and stuff. I just want to go ahead and let you guys know, if you guys cannot already tell, I am sick, almost feeling better and stuff, so I apologize if my voice sounds a little weird and stuff. I believe you guys can still understand me. I just know I probably sound a little weird and stuff, so bear with me for the video. So here are the changes and stuff. So I wanted to point this out because a lot of people have pointed this out to me. They've asked me saying like, "Oh, admin commands only work in Studio, but they don't work in the actual game." Two quick reminders, right? First and foremost, when you are the creator of a game pass, when you create a game pass, right, it automatically puts that game pass into your inventory. In other words, it automatically gives you the game pass for free when you own it, right? So if you try to test like trying to buy the game pass, it's not gonna prompt you with it and stuff because it already considers you, it already thinks you already own it essentially, right? So if you wanted to get rid of it, you would have to go to your inventory on Roblox and then just delete the game pass from your inventory, right? Now, the second thing, admin commands do work in an actual server, but you have to actually own the game pass. The reason why they work in Studio is because remember we put the or, if you're or rs in Studio, right? So admin commands will always work in Studio. They'll only work in the actual game if you own the admin game pass, right? So I just wanted to point that out to people. So someone suggested this to me. I made it so that it notifies players when they're at max rebirth because if you guys didn't already know, if you had to open the rebirth menu when you're at max rebirth, nothing happens. So I just did that so people wouldn't be confused. Um, so I rebranded the shop. This is gonna be the Roblox, Robux, Robux shop. It's a pretty much where you can buy things using Robux and stuff, whether it be game passes or money, stuff like that. So I did that. I added the 2 times cash game pass. Also added the regular shop, which is going to be an item shop where you can buy things with regular in-game currency and stuff. And I added the speed coil. So let's go ahead and let's get straight into the video. All right. So let's go on ahead. Let's get to the UI. Let's head on over to Core GUI, open it up, right? Then you're gonna find the shop frame. You can set this visibility equal to true. Then you can rename this to Robux shop frame. Want to be specific. Then you're gonna open it up, find the admin text button. Then you can really just copy or just duplicate it, and then just drag it over to the side. And then we're gonna make this the 2 times money text button. So we're gonna say 2x money text button, right? And then we'll set the background color to be green to, reflect, like money. Then go down here and we will set the text to 2 times money, right? So we'll do that, and then that's literally it for that. You can set the Roblox shop frame visibility to false. And then now we need to make an item shop frame. So insert a frame into the core GUI, drag it to the middle. Let's do 400 by 400, and then I'll make the X value, or not the X value, I'll make the Y value 300, right? And then we can just drag this to like the middle, like center it. Not sure where right there, right? Then you're gonna want to rename this frame to item shop frame, right? Oh, that's supposed to be lowercase h, right? And let me just double check to make sure I'm good. Okay, I'm good. All right. So then we're just gonna set the background color to like a kind of dark gray, make it a little bit faded. Background transparency will be set to 0.3. Then we're gonna go ahead and insert. Let's go ahead and add our close button. So the great thing is since we already have stuff made, we can just go ahead and just copy and paste and just move things over to like just help and save us some time. So open the index frame, find the close text button, copy, right click on the item shop frame, paste into, boom. Now we have a close text button, right? Saves a lot of time. And then find the index text label, and then same thing, copy, close the index frame, right click on the item shop frame, paste into, right? We have the index text label, right? Now item shop frame, obviously we need to update the index text label there. Obviously we need to update the index text label, so let's rename this to item shop text label. This is just going to be our header, so you're just going to set the text to say item shop. I don't know why I keep doing that. Item shop, right? Then from there we're going to insert a scrolling frame into the item shop frame. So scrolling frame, Then we're going to want to rename this scrolling frame to item frame. This is where the actual items are going to be for sale, right? Then we just drag this to like the middle, to like right under, and then I'm just going to set the size to like maybe 400 or wide, so like 350, 330, so like right there. And then, or actually I'll just bring this, yeah, right there, that's actually perfect. And then we'll just do 250 possibly, or no, 225 probably. Yep, there we go, that looks good. Then I'm just going to make the background color a darker gray. Background transparency will be set to 0.5, right? Then what you'll do is you'll insert a UI grid layout into the item frame. So UI grid layout, this will control the size and positioning of the elements, which you guys should already know by now. And then we're going to go ahead and insert a frame into it, right? And then let's see. So we want it to take up the entire thing. So we'll say like 300, I mean like 320. Yep, so we'll do 320. We'll do 320 by 60. Looks good. Okay, and then we'll make this frame a darker color as well. Yep, so just like that, a dark, nice dark color. And then we will name this frame. Each frame should be named item frame, right? It should be named item frame. Now inside of that, you're gonna have the name and the button which has the price and the what's it called? The price and is also what you click to buy it. So we're gonna insert a text label into it, right? Um, Sizing, let's do 30, yeah, like that. And then we do like 100. We'll just have it be in the top left. So what we'll do is we will set the background transparency to 1, right? Then we will do bold text, rich text, scale the text, set the text to whatever the name is of the item. Now setting the text is very important. Make sure it matches the same exact name as what you're going to have in your item folder. We haven't created the item folder yet. We're going to do that afterwards. But yeah, just make sure it's the same name. So text color, we'll set this to white. The text stroke color should be black. Text stroke transparency should be set to 0. So we have our speed coil, right? Then, of course, you want to rename the text label. This should be item name text label. Now for the purchase button, so insert a text button into the item frame. And obviously, just like before, make it smaller. So maybe like, or no, that's too small, like 40. Then we'll do like maybe 100 by 40. That should be good. And we'll just drag this down here. Then you can also have an image if you want. And stuff you can, have an image of the item if you so desire to. Then we'll set the text to item text button, right? Then we'll set the background color to a nice green, right? Then bold text, rich text, scale the text, and then set the text to whatever the price is, so 500. Now it doesn't matter what you put here, the server will what's it called? The server, like, you'll put on the actual script like the values for the actual price and stuff like this. Is just simply to display the prices to the player. Then we'll do white text color, text stroke color will be black, text stroke transparency set to 0, and then boom. Okay, so now we have our item shop. And then obviously to add more items, you would just click this and then just duplicate and then just change everything. Okay, so we're done with the UI changes. Obviously, set the item shop frames visibility to false, right? Then we can move on and we can go ahead and set up the item shop NPC because we need to walk to it. Now I'm not going to set up a whole stand and have the NPC have a idle animation, all that. You guys can do that if you want. I'm not going to do all of that. So all I'm going to do is click avatar at the top, rig builder. I'm just going to insert a regular rig, default rig. I'm going to rotate it so it's facing the correct direction, right? Then you're just going to want to rename this to item or item shop NPC, right? Then open it up, go into its human root part. You want to insert a proximity prompt to the human root part, right? Rename it to item shop prompt, right? You can set the where is it? You can set the action text to shop. Disable requires line of sight. Very important. Make sure you disable that. And then hold duration, set this to whatever you want it to be. I'll set it to 0.5. It's just this shouldn't be a shock to anybody. You all should know how to use proximity prompts since we literally had to use them for the NPCs as well, so this shouldn't really be difficult for anybody. But yeah, so make sure that's inside of the humanoid root part, right? Or well, you can put it anywhere. But well, okay. It matters where you put it. If you put it anywhere other than the human error part, then obviously you have to obviously you have to change it on the script. So, that's completely you'll have to change some things if that's the case. So, but if you know what you're doing, then by all means go ahead and put whatever you want. Okay. So now moving on to the item folder. So inside of server storage, let's insert another folder. Rename this to item folder, so you're gonna have all your items here, right? So we're gonna have the speed coil. Now, I could get the speed coil model, and I could show you guys how to script a speed coil. It's very simple and basic, and everybody should know how to do that. All you're doing is just increasing the player's speed while the tool is equipped. But that's a little unnecessary code and not really it's irrelevant to the point of the video in the series. So let's just save ourselves some time and go to the toolbox. Just search up speed coils such as I have, and then just choose any of the ones. I'm choosing this one by S_Snaker, so shout out to them. So I'm going to get that. Okay, no. And then obviously, it'll come with the script and stuff. I recommend obviously verifying the script to make sure that, there's nothing harmful on it. I've already checked this out, which is why there's no need for me to read this stuff. Very simple code. All it does is just, speed up the player and stuff. So shout out to S_Snicker for making the this version of the speed coil at least. So once you have your speed coil, drag it over to your item folder, right? It should be a tool, by the way. Make sure it's a tool. Um, and then yeah. So one recommendation though, make sure the names match. This is what I was talking about. You see how here for the item frame, right? The item name. You see the item name, it says speed coil with a space, but the name of the tool came as speed coil without a space. These two need to match. The text needs to match the name of the tool itself. So I'm just gonna go over here and I'm gonna put the space. Right. So just make sure the name for the tool matches the text for the item name. Right. So we're done with that. Now we can move on to the actual scripting changes, okay? So let's go ahead, let's open up our local script. Then let's scroll down a good amount. So we're going down to about, yep, right here. Okay, so right here. So as you guys can see right here, um, we have this part of the code right here, which we're going to change this to include, we're going to change this to a for loop since we're going to have multiple things inside of the shop frame. We also need to change this stuff up here. So you're going to change, wait, oh my bad, looking at the wrong thing. So shop text button, yep. Okay, so just change this to Robux shop frame. Then go right here and do the same thing, and then do the same thing inside, and then yeah. Then we're gonna replace this with a for loop, so you can just delete this really. So just delete this. Then you're gonna say for I comma v in I pairs. Then you're gonna say core GUI Robux shop frame colon get children. Press enter on the outside. Then you'll say if v is a text button, enter, then v.activated connect function, close parentheses, press enter. Then you will say if v.name is equal to admin text button, which you already know, we already went through this already, press enter. So we're just going to fire the remote events, so core event fire server, quotation marks, the shop event, comma, that specify the specific shop event, which is trying to buy admin game pass. Now let's set up the 2 times money game pass or the double money game pass. So then we'll say else if v.name is equal to 2 times money text button, and keep in mind, press enter. Whatever you put here has to match the specific name in this specific name inside of the Roblox shop. For like this, the names have to match, right? You see how they're exactly, you have to match, right? So after that, we're going to fire the remote event, just like we already did before. Core events, fire server, then quotation marks, put shop, comma on the outside, and then you're going to put 2 times money, right? Then from there, you're going to just go down here. So I think I want to, yeah, right here actually. So press enter, then you're going to throw an else. So this is the rebirth thing I was talking about. This is what I was talking about here. That made it so it notifies the player when they're at max rebirth. So this right here, right? So you're gonna say core GUI notification text label dot text color. Since it's a kind of it's not necessarily a warning, but it's like letting someone know something. That's not, I mean, it's neutral. So we're just gonna set the text color to yellow. So color 3.new, we'll say 1,1,0. And you can set it to whatever color you want to, by the way. Then core GUI the notification text label dot text is equal to, in quotation marks, we're gonna put you are at the max rebirth level. Again, you can set the text to whatever you want to, and then task that wait 2 seconds. After 2 seconds, we're gonna clear the text again. Like all of this stuff, you can adjust the color, whatever what you say specifically, how long you wait before you clear the text. It's up to you. So text is equal to an empty string, right? Then we're gonna go down here after after all the rebirth stuff and set up the item shop stuff. So let's create a variable for the item shop NPC. So item shop NPC is equal to workspace wait for child item shop NPC, right? And ignore the breakpoints on like the little red circles. So then we'll say item shop NPC dot humanoid root part dot item shop prompt dot triggered connect function close parentheses press enter. Then you will say core GUI dot item shop frame dot visible is set to true. Then you'll just set up the opposite. So you'll say core GUI dot item shop frame dot close text button dot activated connect function close parentheses press enter. Then just do the opposite. Core GUI dot item shop frame dot visible is set to false, right? Then after that, we'll set up our for loop for the items. So we'll say for I comma v in I pairs. Then you will say core GUI dot item shop frame dot item frame. Remember, this our item frame is the scrolling frame. We can scroll up and down. So get children, go on the outside, press enter. Then you will say if v, let's double check, is a frame, right? Press enter. Then you will create a variable for said frame, just so that you guys can understand, what the instance is in the for loop. So item frame, then we'll say item frame. Each item frame should have its own item text button. So item text button dot activated connect close parentheses function close parentheses enter, right? Then you're gonna say core event fire server in quotation marks shop again. This time you're gonna say item frame that item name text label dot text. This is why I said it's very important to make sure that your item that your where is it? Your item name text label, this text, the text, not the name, the text needs to match the name of the item instead of the item folder. Very important. If they do not match, it will not work, right? Now let's move on to the server script. Okay, so let's open up the core server script. Okay, so we get here, and then we're gonna, of course, need to create a new variable for our item folder. So go after the rebirth folder, and then we'll say local item folder is equal to game dot server storage wait for child item folder, right? Then we can scroll down. We're going on to the core event, the remote event stuff. So the on server event things. So that should be right here, right here. Okay. So right here, as you guys can see, we have our shop event. So what we're gonna do is you can press enter after this end right here. You're gonna say else if shop event is equal to in quotation marks. This time you're gonna put 2 times money, right? Press enter. Just to clarify, this shop event is going to be used for everything in regards to like both shop systems, like whether it be you're buying something with Robux or buying with in-game cash. We're just keeping it all to the same thing. I don't really see a reason to separate the two. But anyway, so it's the same process. You're simply just going to, you can really just copy and paste this Control C, Control V, right? So it's the same process. You're checking to see if they already own it. If they don't, I already showed you guys how to, set up the whole Game Pass and stuff like that. If you don't know how to create a Game Pass, search it up. It's literally, you should find a video. It takes like a minute, 2 minutes. So search it up and stuff if you don't know how to create a Game Pass. But yeah, so once you create a Game Pass, get your asset ID right for it. So I'm gonna put mine 143,505. Obviously, do not put mine. It's not gonna work for you. 5605, right? And then obviously Control C, Control V, updated here. So it's gonna prompt the person to buy the 2 times money Game Pass. The only difference is now we're gonna check to see if they bought it. So we're gonna say NPS dot prompt. Make sure you choose the right one here because it's like about 5 different words into one or four. We're gonna say prompt Game Pass purchase finished, right? We're gonna say connect function in parentheses put PLR, which is short for the player, comma the Game Pass ID, comma was purchased. This is what we really need, this last part right here. Press enter. Then you will say if was purchased, which is the same as just saying if was purchased is equal to true, right? So if was purchased, press enter. Then that means they purchased the Game Pass, right? And they now own it. So we'll say player dot multiplier dot value, and then now somebody please correct me if I'm wrong about this and stuff. I'm decent. I'm pretty good at math. So to achieve two times, right? I'm pretty sure you would just increase that by one, because let's say a player has a default multiplier of one, right? And then we increase it by one, then it'd be two. So then it'd be two times. So yeah, we would just increase the multiplier by one and stuff. Which also this would stack if you also rebirth, by the way. But yeah, so then we're done with that. And then it'll save and everything. So yeah. So skip three ends, then press enter, then else if shop event is equal to speed coil, press enter. Now this is different. So we're gonna check to, of course, see if the player has enough money. So if player dot leader stats dot cash dot value is greater than or equal to. Now here you're gonna put whatever your price is. I'm gonna put 500 because that's what it is in the actual game. So 500, press enter, then you'll put player dot leader stats. The same thing, by the way. You're just gonna do less than or equal to 500, which will just subtract the money and stuff. Again, you don't have to put 500. You can put whatever you want. Then we will see if we can locate the item. So create a variable for it. So item is equal to item folder, find first child, shop event, because that should be the name of the item. This is why I said it's important that that the text matches the exact name of the item inside of the item folder. So then you will say if item, if you can find it, press enter. Then you will clone it is equal to item clone item dot parent is equal to player dot backpack, right? And then boom. So yeah, that covers everything. Let's go ahead and test to make sure everything works. As always, if you guys want access to any one of my scripts or models, just simply read the description and find out how to gain access to any one of them, including this. Okay, so if I try to keep in mind, I'm at rebirth level 1, which is the max for me. If I try to open the rebirth menu, it'll tell me you were at the max rebirth level, right? If I open the shop and stuff, I can open and close. Everything works just fine. Um, two times money, it'll prompt this for me. So now watch this, right? I don't own. Now keep in mind, I do want to clarify something. The reason why it just popped up for me is because I already deleted the Game Pass. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video? I deleted the Game Pass from my inventory. I did that before the video. That is why and stuff. Again, if you don't know how to do this stuff, please guys, be proactive, research. Don't just comment it and wait hours for me to respond. I don't mind doing that, but it's like it doesn't really it's kind of, let's be real. It's kind of stupid to comment something that you could Google and figure out in 5 minutes, and then instead of waiting like 5 to 8 hours for me to respond and stuff, right? Like if it's very simple, just search up how to delete a Game Pass out of your inventory, or remove a Game Pass from your inventory if you don't know how to do that. But yeah, so if I open up my player, right, you'll see multiplier, right? My multiplier is set to 3.5. Keep in mind this is simply because I what's it called? I tested this obviously. So if I buy the Game Pass, right, what's gonna happen? It'll increase by one, right? Um, hmm. Why did it just? Oh, I think I know what's happening. Oh, I know what's happening. Okay, okay. My bad, my bad. I know what's happening. I know what's happening. Okay. I know what's happening. So you would never have to worry about this in an actual game because obviously a person can only be prompted a Game Pass one time unless they, delete the Game Pass and then um get it back. But I know what's happening. Hold on. Let's do something real quick. Let's disconnect this function. I should have did this before. Okay, so hold on. So go back here, right, to our two times money function. So then you're just gonna say, um, you're gonna say, purchase function, set this to nil, right? And then you're gonna go down here. You'll say purchase function is equal to this, right? And then after this purchase function, and then you'll just say if purchase function is not nil, then you'll say purchase function disconnect. So simply we'll disconnect the function and stuff. What's happening is that it's multiple functions running at once. That's why it keeps doing that. So hold on. So if I so multiply 8.5, right? So if I go to the shop and I buy two times money, right? And I buy it should just increase it by one now. There we go. Now it increases by one. So yeah, just add that and stuff. Now I do want to clarify something, right? Even if you delete the Game Pass from inventory, watch. You see how I was able to prompt it again and stuff? Notice how it doesn't increase because I didn't buy it. But keep in mind, right? You can test purchasing a Game Pass. Like this in Studio, this function will work and stuff. However, you cannot actually simulate you owning a Game Pass, right? Roblox still treats it as you don't owning a Game Pass, hence why it says this is a test purchase, because it isn't an official purchase. It's just a test purchase. So that's why it'll keep prompting you. In an actual server, when a player buys the 2 times money, since it's a Game Pass, they can't buy it again unless they get rid of the Game Pass from the inventory and stuff. Right? That's the only way. If they delete the Game Pass from the inventory and stuff. So they can't sit here and just spam 2 times money and buy Game Pass. Like dev products are what you buy more than once, not Game Passes. But anyway, then we head on over to the item shop at VC, hold E, our item shop opens and closes. Perfect. Okay, so as you can see, I have 20 mil, so I can buy speed coil. I bought it and it works just fine. So yeah. So there we go. So yeah, some people wanted what's it called? Some people wanted the I'm trying to think. They want to wait, what, how am I getting? Oh, it's the multiplier. I was like, how am I gaining money so quickly? I realized this multiplier. I was like, what the hell? Anyway, so that clears up confusion regarding admin commands, and then because people were asking me to make the notification for the rebirth, I think 2 people asked me for that. Um, and then someone asked me, a few people asked me for the shop. So I finished the shop. Probably didn't get to like mutations. Maybe I'll cover crafting, but I'll probably do my system differently though and stuff. But I don't think I'm gonna do the whole carrying over and stuff. I'll probably just have it so like it's just in your inventory and you can just yeah, you could just craft them to be honest. But we'll see. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, and stuff. You guys continue to show Still a Brainrot a lot of love and support, and I appreciate that and stuff. You guys already know. As long as you guys continue to show the series love and support, I will happily continue to make more and more videos and stuff for it. So yeah, just continue to show the series love and support, and I will continue making more and more videos and stuff. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and yeah, see y'all.